Hi, and welcome to Glengariff. Today we're going to be showing you a dish for Heart Healthy Food Month. We're going to be taking ingredients that you would find in an egg roll, make heart healthy substitutions, and turn it into a lettuce spring roll. Today we're going to start off with our marinade for our Napa cabbage, coconut chicken, and julienne veg spring roll. So what we have here is coconut milk, about 3 ounces of it. We're going to pour it into a mixing bowl. We're going to follow that with a little bit of rice wine vinegar, about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of rice wine vinegar. The acidity will help break down the meat and add some flavor to it. We're going to add a little soy sauce for saltiness. It's light soy sauce, so the sodium is a little low. We're going to mix that together, get it nice and blended. We're going to follow up with some EVO extra virgin olive oil. The light flavor will really bring out the whole combination of the vinegar and the soy sauce and everything. And the final ingredient that we're going to add to this are cilantro stems. Now predominantly people use cilantro leaves in most of their cooking, but I found out that the stems are an underrated, underused, and a forgotten part of the vegetable. They're chock full of flavor, they have every healthy note that comes with the cilantro, and they just taste better. So right now we have our nice little marinade working. We're gonna take our chicken. We're just gonna leave it in there marinating overnight. When you leave it marinating overnight, you're gonna have a better flavor content and everything. And right here I have a chicken that I marinated overnight with the same ingredients. I have a pan set on medium with some EVO. We're gonna set that on. When you're always putting something into a pan that's hot, you always want to go away from you. So that way if there's any splash, it doesn't get on you and you don't burn yourself. Once again, we're just going to go like this, and we're going to go away from this. We also practice safety in the kitchen, so anytime you're working with raw meat or anything, you always want to change gloves and make sure that you practice safety in the kitchen. So while the chicken's going right now, we're going to prepare the ingredients for the stuffing of the spring roll. Right here, as you can see, we have some nice julienne peppers, some parsnips, and some carrots. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the pepper, we're going to take one side of it like this. You always want to take that membrane off the center because it's easier to cut and it's a lot better and it's not chewy. We'll do the same thing for the green. I'm going to follow it up with an orange pepper. And finally, we're going to have the red pepper. Again, we cut everything up so we don't have that nice little membrane that's in here stuck in our teeth or stuck in our food. Now, when you're julienning your peppers, which means like a matchstick type of cut, you never want to cut it on the skin side. It's always harder and it gives you more resistance. So what you want to do, flip that bad boy over, and then when you're looking for the proper consistency of it, you always want to use the back of your blade. That's the perfect julienne. Always, always make sure you roll your knuckles. You're better off slicing this than the tip of your fingers. Like that. Put that there, and we'll just julienne a nice green pepper, followed by orange, we want a julienne consistency so that way when we marinate it, it'll help break down the vegetables and it'll help practically cooking it. We're going to go back to our chicken, make sure it doesn't burn, and give it a turn. Again, we're going to go away from us, and we're just going to let it go. Now that we've cut our peppers, we want to go to the next healthy option, jicama. Jicama is a nice starchy vegetable. It gives you a nice crunch when you really bite into it. All we're going to do is we're just going to take the top skin off. We're going to make a nice little matchstick size cut. You can see nice and thin. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna slice it nice julienne style. We'll grab all our ingredients so far, put them in a nice mixing bowl. And then finally we have carrots. Same thing, we always square off the carrots so it's easier to cut and it's easier to find. You want to make sure your carrots parallel to your table. And then same thing, using the back of the knife. See? Beautiful cut right there. Equal in size and we get the perfect julienne that way. Now that we have our vegetables set up for our stuffing, we're going to set up the marinade for it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a little stone ground mustard. That's going to be your base because we're basically building a vinaigrette. The vinaigrette will help break down the vegetables and give it flavor at the same time. Again with our soy sauce. Our rice wine vinegar. Rice wine vinegar is very sweet and not so pungent in flavor. It really just aerates the dishes. We're going to combine this with the fork. And then while I'm whisking it with the fork, I'm going to add the extra virgin olive oil so everything's well combined. Letting me know that the marinade is ready. And it's good to go so I can put the vegetables in and leave them overnight like the chicken. You want to leave this dish overnight so you really get the marinade of the flavors and you really enjoy the well combination of mustard, of soy sauce. Look at that. That is beautifully combined. See that? Then what we're going to do, we're going to take our vegetables, we're going to pour the sauce right over it, the marinade, and we're just going to give it a gentle toss. You really want everything to be coated, you really want everything to be covered with this because it'll marinate and it'll just break down the meat, it'll keep the crunch, but it'll also cook it somewhat. Usual, changing the gloves. Should always have kitchen safety. While that's going, we're going to go back and check on our chicken to make sure that it's ready to go. Still a little light, we need a little more time on the chicken. The chicken feels a little, it's got a little pushback, a little spring. It's not ready. It means it's still cooking and it means it needs more time. When the chicken breast feels firm to the touch, that means it's ready to go and we're ready to plate. So after marinating overnight, this is what your vegetables should look like. These vegetables have been marinating overnight. And like I said, due to the breakdown of the vinegar and the oil, you can see how they've gotten a little soft, but you can still see that they have a little crunch to them. So when you bite into it, it's not fully cooked, but it's also got its crunchiness to it. So that's what we want with this dish. We want it to be nice and crunchy. Take our chicken right here, just give it a cut to see where we're at. Look at that. Look at that beautiful chicken. That's what you're looking for. Nice cook. We're gonna throw it back to give it a little more golden brown color. While that's going, I'm gonna wet down my table and we're gonna start building the lettuce roll. Now, what we have over here is Napa cabbage. I love the Napa cabbage better because it's got a better crunch to it. It's easier to work with. When you blanch and shock it for 15 seconds, blanching means you cook it in boiling water. Shocking means 10-15 seconds in the water. Right back out into ice water. Stop the cooking process. You get a beautiful, beautiful green leaf like that. So we're gonna lay down our beautifully blanched and shocked Napa cabbage right there. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna check on the chicken that we have going over here. Looks almost ready for us to go. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our nicely marinated vegetables. We're gonna put a little bit right there. Right there. We're gonna go right there. Then we're gonna grab our chicken right here. Some gentle, nice slices. Okay. Like that. And then we're just gonna roll it like that. And see, when we blanch and shock it, you see how it's pliable right there? If this was raw, you wouldn't be able to roll it like this because it would just not let you. And there you go. After being blanched and shocked, it's more pliable, it's easy to roll, and you get a nice looking spring roll. Nice looking vegetable spring roll. Look at that. Heart healthy, delicious. And then if you really want to step up your game and show everybody you know what you're doing at home, all this is a little spinach oil, spinach puree with a little bit of oil. Just gonna go right around the plate like that. Give it a little color. This is some pureed roasted red pepper. Boom, boom, right there. And look at that. Not only is this dish heart healthy, but it's delicious. You make the right substitutions, you don't have to sacrifice carbs for flavor, and it's just an amazing dish to have. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy this dish.